All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about Horizon Zero Dawn and my experience with it. As the game is an older game, I understand there's probably a ton of videos analyzing things, and also Forbidden West is coming out here in a few days. I have purchased the game, I'll be playing it. I really did enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn, and so I understand that this is, only a few days of me just talking about it. So one might say it's kind of pointless, but I'm just airing my opinion on the game as I experienced it. So first off was the sort of the bow action, and quite frankly, that's what the entire game is built upon, is using this bow. That's your primary weapon. And there's various types of bows, and I've just never been a big fan of bow and arrows in games or crossbows. The difference between a bow and a gun, obviously, is a bow is going to shoot at an arc, which a gun shoots, straight. With that arc, and you're running around, you're jumping, stuff's coming at you, it just applies this extra level of distance and angle that can make your shot unpredictable. I was able to, get through the game. Obviously, that's the staple of the game, is that bow, but it's just, that was one of the first challenges for me is, oh man, it's a game where you use a bow the entire game. I guess the second thing was the fact that the game is designed that you're using all of these different weapons. And yes, in the middle of a fight, you could stop, go to the menu, switch out a weapon with completely different capabilities and functionality. But for me, that's just, if I'm going to get into a fight, I want to, get in the fight, finish the fight with what I have. And so, changing out weapons constantly just wasn't going to be something I was going to do. Now, so hopefully in the new one, I'm hoping that perhaps there's just some of these bows already will have more options on them than in Zero Dawn, where it has your basic damage and then it has like one other thing, but it's certainly not, ice or fire or electricity. You had to get different bows for that. And I understand you need to upgrade these in the RPG mentality, but I don't know. I just hope that that's a little easier or simpler from the jump. Secondly, I think what really threw me, and with many of these games, I approach them from having never played them. I just kind of jump into these games. And so with this game, the difficulty level, or rather the aggressiveness of the machines, the aggressiveness of the characters were the NPCs was, it was in my face pretty fast. I guess one example, the proving, you want to achieve your goal, you want to win, and you want to complete it, but also you want to win to become a part of the tribe. But then here we go. It's like 3 or 4 waves of guys, they're all shooting at you. I was like, wow. And so, of course, it was kind of a trip for me that, okay, this game's really going to be balanced around you playing it in slow motion. Now, I've seen, some various, after playing, people who, use less slow motion. I probably abuse the slow motion aspect a lot because, I don't know, there's so much stuff coming at you. It's just attacking you. Everything, of course, is like a sniper. Basically, every machine is going to hit you with 100% accuracy and do maximum damage, long range, melee, the whole bit. And so, I'm like going to slow this down so I can, get a fix on what's going on. I think another interesting aspect, or one for me at least, that I found a little frustrating until I guess I kind of figured it out, but it's the fact that you're not only pulling one machine, like you'll go and attack one machine, and it's interesting because you'll see machines in the background, they're pretty far away, and you'll attack one guy, and then all of a sudden it feels like the entire zone is attacking you. like come on, man, can I just attack one guy? And I saw someone bring this up in a different video that I checked out, but it was the hope that in the next Horizon that you're able to just enjoy the landscape. And I guess I felt in some ways with Zero Dawn, you were sort of punished a little bit for exploration. Maybe people are like, well, no, I like it, constantly being in combat every single place I go. For me, though, it just, exploration meant, you better have everything going, because if you shoot one guy, you're going to pull the entire zone, and you're just trying to find something. And so for me, that was I don't know, for the next one, I do hope that you're able to explore a little more, see some things. I mean, really, I guess in a sense, maybe what will end up happening, I don't know, but if with a bigger world map, you won't have to have so many clumps, so many machines all sort of, bunched together. There's only so much room to explore, and there's only so much room for these NPCs. So, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe there's a bigger map, and so you can again, explore a little bit more freely, because the world in itself was amazing. I think another thing was throughout the game, you would have these stealth missions or various missions, and they would say things, or there'll be little tool tips, or the objective would have some audio or something, and it would say, okay, let's keep stealth and go in and attack. And so my thought is, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do, and if I don't do that, if I get out of stealth or something, really bad things are going to happen, right? And some of the other tool tips, it was like, hey, you need to fix this, and someone put it upside down so everything is backwards. And so in my mind, I just thought, okay, I guess she's meaning every one of these puzzles is backwards. I guess what was confusing in the game was basically without you go in there with stealth, and then I made a mistake and I pulled a guy, and it seemed like it didn't matter at all. Like I could have just rushed in there and took everyone down however I wanted to. So that for me at times was confusing. The objectives were, it's upside down. Well, that only applied to one thing. Didn't apply to everything, and I didn't know that. It was so. Hopefully, there's a little bit more clarity in the next one, especially with those, the mission commands. Okay, we better go in there stealthily. But yeah, do you really need to? I mean, do you even need to say that? Maybe it's more in the dialogue where they say, it'd be good if we weren't discovered, but you handle this however you want to. I don't know, something along those lines, so that you don't think that, I don't know, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna, get all messed up. And because I guess that's a strategy standpoint. Stealth obviously takes a lot longer than just kind of going in guns blazing. And so could speed up the gameplay, but I'm not sure. For the things I really enjoyed, obviously the story for me was just impressive. It was impressive. I didn't know what to expect. I had a lot of different thoughts, and I was just surprised at every turn. It was good. It was very entertaining. I think it was very, very satisfying. I felt the characters were well fleshed out. I really liked everyone's motivations. It would have been nice, yes, for some of the side quests, some of those characters to have a little more life. A lot of them, of course, you have a lot of dialogue. If you choose the dialogue wheels on perhaps you encountered them, they're going to give you a quest. And if you use those dialogue wheels, you're going to find out more about them. But really, that's only one interaction. Once you've done the quest, you'll get a little more, and that's it. A little more dialogue, and then that's it. There's nothing else. And so it would have been nice maybe if you would have seen him again, or talked to him again, or had something going on with them again, because everyone looked really cool. It was, like I said, I felt they were really well fleshed out, and some of that. The environments were, just awesome. They were just awesome. And again, it just worked so well with the story, because you have this destroyed environment. You have these vantages where you can, see the past and everything. And really it just made a world of mystery, which I thought was great. The machine designs, again, I just thought they were incredible. So much about the game, especially visually, was just so impressive. Now, I understand that the game was intended to be challenging in a certain way, and for those who enjoy challenge, and clearly there's a lot of people who really enjoyed the game and things like that, and you'll see more people than not saying, oh, well, I turned up to super, ultra, extra hard. For me though, I don't know about challenges, and I guess that's what I mean by that. It's not that I think that it's bad to have something that's difficult, or I don't know, challenging, for lack of a better phrase, to complete. It's more that when people say challenging, that generally means one of two things. Overall, it's going to mean that it's going to take a lot of time. And I think for me personally, I like to get through things quickly. I don't need lightning speed, but when things are put in there artificially just to make it take longer, for me, I get kind of annoyed by that. And and with some of these things like machines and whatnot, the fact that you can hit them and sometimes you'll stun them, but at some point they're like, no, it doesn't matter if you hit me, it doesn't matter what you do, I'm just gonna come running at you full force. You're gonna do a lot of dodging, and here we go, now it's gonna take a long time. And then of course, once you have 3 or 4 or 5 of these people on you, now it's going to take a really long time. Which brings me to my next point here, I guess, would be the resource management. There are so many resources every time you shoot it, every time you do anything in the game. And so a lot of time was spent, at least I spent, just picking things and then micromanaging these resources and everything. And again, I think for like a sort of quasi-survivalist type experience. I could see that, and I could see how people are into it. For me, though, hopefully in the next one, you know, it's weird to say, well, there's a type of game that only I want to play, and I certainly would never recommend that. I guess I just hope that they make a lot of these resources available early on so I can just grind them for hours and I don't have to grind them the rest of the game. And that's what's funny. I think people would say, well, that's not how the game's meant to be played. You're supposed to just, you know, get some resources and go and get some resources and go. But I guess for me, when I look at things and I see I'm about to run out of, let's say, wood, or I'm about to run out of shards, but there's shards over there, I don't know. I don't like that feeling. Like I look down and I'm almost empty. I don't like that. I want to look. I don't even want to look down. I just want to know I have so much, so many of these resources. I don't have to worry about it, and I can just focus on the game. Seeing the new game. I watched just a little bit of it because I want to be totally surprised by it, so I really haven't watched any of the in-depth videos, but underwater, like, great. It's hard enough to get a bow working in the above ground, and now what are we going to do underwater? I'm imagining, I'm thinking back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the sharks. You know, we have these sharks just coming at you, and you're trying to, you know, I don't know, spear them, and oh, God, it was so frustrating. So I don't know. I'm hoping that turns out. I mean, it looks awesome. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. And so from that, another thing, I hope that's in the new game. I don't think it is, and I can understand why it wouldn't be in there. But the idea of customization of your outfits. Now I saw some things saying, oh, you can customize some of them, but I mean like I don't know, maybe more of a transmog system, so I can specifically look like I want to look. Just for me personally, because I'm an artist, you know, and all of that, character designer. I don't know. I like my characters look a certain way. For early on in this game, in Zero Dawn, I was using this sort of low-end outfit just because I like the outfit. The upgraded one, the more upgraded the outfit became, it just became more deep. There was like ropes and everything hanging off it and beads, and I was like, that's a little too much, you know. And again, people may say, well, that's kind of silly, and I don't know. That's just my preference. So hopefully, the new one they have some more toned down versions of these outfits, so you can look pretty cool. Because I've seen some of them in this like seashells and you know big giant ropes hanging off of you, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't run around with the giant conch shell on my shoulder. So you know, just a specific desire of mine is customizable outfits. But if not, you know, I don't know. I'll find something, and through that playthrough, I'm sure if I'm wearing a low-end outfit, there'll be maybe some grunts. I'm like, come on, man. Why don't you wear? If you had a better outfit, you wouldn't struggle so badly. Some of the traversing, the puzzles, and I understand this is fixed in the next game, but I think it wasn't so much that, you know, in the next game, I understand you could free climb in a lot of places, but it was that these things were specifically put in points. I mean, and again, I get it. Hey, you have an objective. You need to go from A to B. And them thinking, well, you know what? That's pretty linear, so why don't we put a couple of traversal puzzles in here to keep, you know, okay, well, you thought you were going to run from A to B, but actually you have to, you know, do these platforming puzzles here before you can get there. And for me, yeah, maybe the first couple times it was neat. After that, I was like, man, can I just go from A to B? You know, that was my hope. Just so I don't know. I guess in the next one, hopefully that's, you know, I don't mind the traversal puzzles, but maybe not so many that are thrown in like intense situations, right? Again, overall, I loved finding little figurines and everything. Everything had a story. I thought it was really well tied together. So overall, I really enjoyed the game. I guess it was unique in the fact that for me, it was one of the more, there was at times, you know, just extremely frustrating, and then at times incredibly rewarding. So there was a great tension, I guess, throughout the game. And I don't know that I want a bunch of tension when I play a game. I just want to play the game, see the story, and move on. And I guess you would say, oh, we'll drop the difficulty to story level. Well, I mean, I don't want like a baby game or something, but I don't know. It's and again, it's not like I'm complaining. I did really enjoy the game, but boy, there were some moments, man. There were some real moments where you're like, come on, man. Especially with some of the Ravagers, that they're like, oh, I can shoot you from afar. We'll shoot their cannon off. Hey, I tried, but there's another one right behind me. And guess what they do? They have like 4 different melee attacks, all of which knock you down. And then you have this really slow animation to stand back up while they're moving at full speed. they're not slowed by anime. They're good to go, and they're slapping you around, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, come on. But overall, man, I really enjoyed the game. I'm looking forward to Forbidden West. I'm really looking forward to the story, where that's going. I mean, this game has got to be one of those where, the story for me was just so awesome that I'll take frustration, I'll take the unknowns, I'll take any of that, just to find out more, because I really just thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's the end of my little session here on this game. I guess in the next 48, 72, 96 hours, I'm not sure how long, we'll be seeing the next one, and I'll certainly be playing it. And, I don't know if you guys have any kind of comments or anything you might say in terms of what you enjoyed about the game, or maybe for what you're looking forward to the next one. But certainly there's a comment section. You can throw those in there. And thanks for listening.